First and foremost, I would like to state that this was back in 2022? Yeah, the end of 2022. So, November of 2022. I left my house around 5 o'clock. I was not drinking. I went to pull up to my friend Derek's. He's leaving for work, so it's probably getting closer to 6 o'clock. He's leaving for work, actually. And so I was going to go talk to him. And then I was going to go talk to Najoni Martinez and Chris Burns. Well, I was not drinking, but what they liked to do is place all blame on me. I went over there and I went up to the door and knocked. I'm like, hey, can I come in? And Chris says, no. And I said, okay. So then I have my phone. I'm in shorts, slippers, and a Dylan's Driver shirt, like a glow Dylan's Driver shirt that like glows in the dark. Okay. No jacket, no nothing. It's like 14-degree weather. And mind you, it's November in 2022. So I'm freezing at this point. I'm jogging to my car. I get in and I'm like, like waiting to warm up the car. So I turn on the car to let it warm up, right? And I'm sitting there on my phone, and the next thing I know, I glance up and I see like shadows walking down a hallway, and there's this like bright light at the end of the hallway. And I'm thinking, oh, Chris is coming out. Well, and I literally said, oh, great, Chris is coming out. And then I look up and it's Cece and Najoni. And they had like passed the light onto the sidewalk, which my window's right there. So they come to the window. She comes knocking at my window, and they have like the meanest faces ever. And I literally like look up, crack the window, and their faces told me everything already. It wasn't like, hi, how are you? It wasn't, no, it was like, I'm gonna bust a cap in your ass type of look. Okay, so that's why I cracked my window just a little bit, and I said, what? And that's when they both started babbling, and I'm like, you know what? You bringing this B word over here? I don't have time for this. And they ripped open my door. Okay? Niz ripped open my door, knocked her friend down who was behind her. Niz gets onto, like, I literally turned sideways like this, and I'm kicking her out of my car at that point. Chris comes over. So her friend's already on the floor. And mind you, we're right next to her boyfriend's truck. So whether they slammed into his truck, whether my door hit the truck, whether Niz hit the truck, whether they're banging on the truck, something's happening, but they caused it because they pulled open my door. So, Cece's on the floor, and Chris grabs Niz and tosses her, okay? And at this point, I'm getting ready to leave. Like, I want to go. Like, I want to drive my car and go. But then Chris is on the ground with Cece, which is near my tire. But Cece nothing ever... I don't know if Niz stepped on Cece. I don't know what happened in the midst of me kicking Niz out of my car. I don't know. But maybe marks on her legs, whatever. But I did not run over that girl because Chris said, stop! And I ensured I didn't drive anywhere. And that's because I was sober. Yes, I'm scared, but I'm sober. And I'm not going to sit here and run over somebody even if they're attacking me. Okay? So, Niz, when he says stop, I roll down my window fully to look over. And as I did this, Niz swings and misses the whole entrance of my window and pulls open my back. Like, she came out of nowhere after being tossed across the parking lot. She swings, misses, must have broken a nail or something because I heard the hit. She pulls open my back door and she like is about to take my head off. So I go to like open my door, literally, like I go to open it and I'm gonna step out, but then Chris gets up again and grabs her and tosses her even harder this time. And she goes rolling. And so I close my door like this. So I never even got out of the car. And at that point, I'm like waiting to go or about to go. And Cece jumps up, like fully recovered because she got ran over, right? Bull. Fully recovered and swings through my window. And at that point, she swung, nicked my chin, grabbed onto my right arm. So I'm sitting here like this. She's like going like this up against the window because I'm trying to shake her off like this. So she's hitting her forehead up on the rim because she won't let go. She won't let go of my arm. And at that point, Chris grabs them and puts his arms around them and pulls them to the sidewalk and holds them back like this. Okay? Then I'm finally able to leave. The next thing I know, I ran people over, like they're telling lies to the cops. I ran people over. I started a huge fight. I caused damage to their car, all these things. I'm like, if you would have simply just let me drive away after I said okay, instead of coming to attack me in my car, and I still didn't run you over when you did that, everybody would have been fine. And your truck would have been safe. I had no intentions of damaging anything. Because if that were the case, I would have never knocked on your door and I would have just grabbed a baseball bat and busted your windows in, wouldn't I have? I'm not like you. And I don't appreciate the lies. And I didn't drink until I got home and I was crying in my bed. Thank you very much. And then the cops come knocking at my door, telling me what you guys lied about.